Touchdown, my heart is beating. See the dust on my feet, feel the weight on my bones, hear my breath in my head. I am free for the first time. Touchdown, my eyes are believing. See my friends on the ground, hear the steps, hear the sounds, watch them fly to the hills. We are free for the first time. Let's start this odyssey. First steps in front of me. My eyes so wide to see this future. Let's make this odyssey. Frontiers for us to see. Vistas so wide, this is the future. Embrace the future. On this odyssey. Touchdown, this place is bubbling. Watch them run, watch them fly, have a drink, start a fire, climb a ship, see the size for the first time. Touchdown, we are greeting. See the look in their eyes on my highway, surprise of a fight for their lives. Yeah, we are meeting. Let's start this odyssey. First steps in front of me. My eyes so wide to see this future. Let's make this odyssey. Frontiers for us to see. Vistas so wide, this is the future. Embrace the future. Bullets fall like burning chaff. The celebration turns to violence. Laser fire makes shields go blue. Explosions fill my ringing ears. Humanity has come to stay. With all our faults, fears and anger. Joyous in this wondrous fall. Or let me slip away. Let's start this odyssey. Brave steps in front of me. My eyes so wide to see this future. Let's make this odyssey. Frontiers for us to see. Vistas so wide, this is the future. Embrace the future.
Out there's a ship just for you. A ship that can carry you to the furthest stars, jumping long distances whilst offering an unobstructed view of the galaxy. A ship that can also pack a decent punch if the pirates come knocking. A ship that feels safe. A ship that feels like home. The Asp Explorer. A great ship at a great price in a competitive galaxy. Fly far. Fly safe. Fly in front of things.
You've flown ships at max speed. You've felt the power of the 30 megawatt mining laser. You've experienced the efficiency of the MB4 mining machine.
Wow.
But it leaves every hardcore miner with just one question.
Why can't I get a shave that's that fast, close and efficient?
Introducing the Saracen MB5 shaving drone.
It's so smooth.
Combining the power of a mining laser with the convenience of a drone.
It's like every hair is targeted by a fighter and destroyed.
Saracen's patented shaving drone attaches to your face at the start of the day. Leave it to do its work, and when you come back to check, your face is shaved.
He's so smooth.
It's like I'm mining my face.
The Saracen MB5 shaving drone.
Now I feel manly.
Saracen Shaving, making shaving an unnecessary adventure.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the current Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 511 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, otherwise known as Colin Ford, and joining me in the orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our Head of Health and Safety, that's Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
I really want to say something in Scottish, but if I did, then because I'd be doing it consciously, I'd be sounding like I was totally faking it, and that just annoys me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Then we also have our SRV Banksy, that's Commander Alec Turner.
Konnichiwa do konbanwa, Alec Turner san desu.
Oh, look at him, eh? Listen to that, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I'll tell you more on that
later. We also have the Chris Mark V joining us this week.
Hiya.
There you go.
Hiya.
For those of you who are wondering, Commander Psychit, I think she is off getting Mass Effect tonight.
Aye.
Not jealous in any way whatsoever.
Oh,
Have
no.
fun, Psychit.
Yeah.
We know you will, and no doubt you'll come back and gloat. We'll know you gloat. Jeez. Right, we've also got the Chris Mark IV hanging out in the bar somewhere. So if you wish, you can join us live hanging out with the Chris Mark IV in the bar at Lave Station. If you can't get to us in game, you can join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or goes to twitch.tv/laveradio, or look us up Lave Radio on YouTube. We are there as well. So let's have a quick run around the crew, see how they're up to. We'll start with the man on his own, Chris Mark V. How are you doing?
All right, troops. Right. I'm doing all right. I spent a lot of time, at least for me anyway, in Elite doing Powerplay stuff and being really, really fucking confused. So yeah, because Frontier are allergic to explain anything.
Yes.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I've really enjoyed what I've done, and I've been doing it solely in open.
Yes. Excellent.
Wow.
2 thumbs up. I approve.
Where are those 2 thumbs up going?
We've not had a drink yet.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Next, we'll start up with Ben. Oh, for goodness sake.
What?
Psychit has just posted in the chat room with her and Commander Shepard.
Oh.
Talking about making me feel bad, and then all of a sudden she does that. She couldn't have timed it better. Anyway.
Go.
We don't care.
Yes. Yeah. She's not
Not
gloating at all,
jealous
is
at
she?
all.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, there's no emoji for jealous. Oh.
Right. Oh yeah. I did some real life stuff. I did some. Went off and our local pub went off and ran a fireworks display over the weekend. That was actually safe and well organized and things like that. Was they weren't charging for it. It's like free for everyone in the community, but the bar, because obviously I felt obliged, and I was like, oh dear, I'm going to have a pint here. What a shame, kind of thing. But the bar was mobbed, which I'm really, really delighted to see. And they put on it was a really good fireworks display lasting, I'd say a good 20 minutes. Not like the world's biggest fireworks route, but a good solid display. It was lovely. And a really nice crowd and event. Just like good vibes, basically. Game wise, the only thing I've kind of been looking at, I have to admit, of late, is Planet Coaster. And as I think has been alluded, Frontier don't seem to do manuals too well. It's not just an Elite Dangerous thing. I had something that's like, get 4.5 stars in something. Well, I've got loads of rides, I've got loads of people, they all seem to be fairly happy. Why am I only on 4? Look prettier and blah 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 blah. I was like, but yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying Planet Coaster 2 though. Can anyone hear me? Oh,
yes.
You've all come back for me now.
Yeah, because we're losing everybody again. It looks like we're having a bad Discord night.
Strap in, folks. It's going to be one of those.
Yep. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Alec, your turn. If Discord can hold up.
I'll try. What we've been up to? We went. We've had a bit of a Christmas decoration clear out. Get all the old ones out and see what we've got, and do a bit of a sort, which was quite fun. But we haven't put them up yet. We've been very good. Still early November, isn't it? Far too early. I went with my son to see the new Paddington movie today, which was a hoot. It's probably not quite as good as the first two, but it's still perfectly fine. It's good, jolly good fun. Yes, my Japanese intro, which was basically hello and good evening. I'm Alec Turner. I've become massively hooked on Duolingo. So a guy at work put me onto it. It's an app, for those that don't know. I gather it's quite popular, and it just gamifies learning a language. So I randomly picked Japanese, and
probably the most difficult language to learn for an English speaker.
I really like it. I can't tell you why, but I really enjoy speaking it and learning. The slightly annoying thing, which I didn't bank on, is that halfway through my day 3 tasks for Duolingo, it started trying to teach me the written katakana or something, which is, oh god, it's impossible. I just have it's like 5 different squiggles, and then it says which squiggle is this, and I just cannot. It just does not stick in my brain. But the spoken language I'm enjoying a lot. It's
so
it's
is this to feed your anime fascination?
No, it's just I just heard about Duolingo, and I thought I was curious. It piqued my curiosity because I like the idea of gamifying things that some people might consider to be work. And yeah, it does it very well. It's addictive. It's like it's like playing one of those sort of gemstone games or something. You just think, I'll just do one.
Good, actually.
Yeah, it's great. I'll just do one more Duolingo lesson. Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. But yes, as Frank Miner says, you can join but never leave. And aside from all that, I've been doing a lot of Powerplay. Ditto. I guess we will save most of it for my main discussion. We'll save most of it for main discussion. But I have spent most of the week trying to do my 5 weekly tasks, which turned out all to be problematical for one reason or another. Thanks, Frontier.
Oh, I know. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
And it turns out, well, I probably knew this already, but it turns out I am a bit of a completionist. And although I have joined a Pranav Antal Discord group, and they've been terrific, I haven't had time to do any of the tasks they've set for me because I'm just obsessed about trying to complete my weeklies. I just can't. I can't leave it.
Oh dear. Yes, I know your pain because I've been doing power play in my alt commander all week, just like last week. My main commander is stuck at Lave Station, twiddling his thumbs, going, "When am I ever going to go again?" No. So probably after the next Titan, I'll pledge him to something, or I'm not quite so sure what. But I have been having a blast in Powerplay. Apart from that, it's been I've got hooked on Final Fantasy 15 yet again. Only this time playing it through with a proper controller instead of mouse and keyboard, and it plays so much better. Why did I bother with mouse and keyboard? Because it just doesn't work. So yeah, I've got to complete that. It's one of those OCD things that have got into my head, and the usual work stress and I spent most of Sunday actually changing a tap. Genuinely being I managed to without the thing leaking, so
That's
yay.
impressive. I always
know.
stay away from water because in theory I sort of know how to fix stuff, but there's always a little drip at the end of it and you think, oh God.
No, there's yeah, word of advice, don't clean these black taps with anything more than a wet sponge, because if you put proper bathroom cleaner on it, or you you scrub at what you think is dirt with a toothbrush or a cleaning toothbrush, don't, because you're actually taking the paint off.
Uh-oh. I was going to say, you've made a clean spot. You're going to have to do the whole house now.
Yeah. No, that's... I said about that. Oh, and our dishwasher's broke. So for the last... I now have more pruny fingers than anything before because I am the dishwasher now.
We've never owned a dishwasher, so you're telling me nothing new.
Right then, let's move on to the development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, there hasn't been much. It should be noted that on the Steam charts, numbers still remain high, although it does appear that the servers are still quite slow at the moment. Yeah, and we've still got a lot of people complaining about long transfer times of fleet carriers, and quite a few more ADA reports and things like that. It's
Braben tunnels. Regularly getting Braben tunnels.
So yes, it's been it's been good that there's so many people there. Yes, we're still pushing 10,000 at the moment. Well, over the weekend it got very close to 10,000 again. But yeah, and that's just the Steam charts. So who knows what the rest of them are? But it's a good positive trend. Today,
you know the game's doing well when the forum's on fire with people discussing why haven't Frontier spun up another Amazon server, and then getting into heated discussions about how much it costs to spin up Amazon servers and things like that.
I thought that the thing was with the Amazon servers, as long as you paid a set fee, you can spin up as many as you want. But
no, we should all be using Azure.
A lot of it depends on what your contract is with them as well.
Yeah, very true.
And it's expensive as fuck.
And I don't really know how effective it is,
Yeah, yeah. AWS spell can get out of control quickly.
Oh well, I will acknowledge your superior knowledge on the matter, because mind you, the thing that Gav's Mr. Stott was talking about, I think his presentation was years ago now, so obviously they'll have changed the beware AWS salesmen with gifts. Smiling faces, mate. Yeah. Focus feedback is what they're wanting They've started a new thread on the forums from Paul. It's about ship transfer times. For those of you who remember back to 2.3, there was a massive furore happening at the time when they wanted to put in instant ship transfers, to which there was a huge, and I mean huge, argument on the forums that no, that would give Ganker too much of an advantage, and it would break my immersion. So we want reasonable transfer times.
Yeah.
And that's why it takes half an hour to get one ship from, say, Shinrata Desra over to Lave. Well, it's actually about 15 minutes. But if you want to take something down to the Pleiades, you're looking at a good hour at least. So they're wanting feedback about, have they got this right? Do you want it to be instant? Do you think it should be a shorter time, longer time, whatever? They want to know.
I love the way Paul's phrased it. You know, he's always got a good turn of phrase. I love how he just says, would changes to these cause life itself to cease all meaning? Because it was... Do you know, it is funny because I was one of those people, I'm afraid to say, firmly on the side of we must have transfer times because it is going to break my immersion. I was just so offended by the idea. And then it's funny, the minute you get it, you think, oh, hang on a minute, I've just stuffed myself. I want my ship, and I'm, for entirely arbitrary reasons, I'm going to have to wait half an hour. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
So basically, it's your fault.
Yep, sorry. That and the Mandalay's wings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the side of I'd rather have delays, because not for immersion and things like that, but it's just like space is large. You need consequences for your decisions and moving around and stuff like that.
It feels, yeah, it does feel right that there should be a bit of a.
We don't have a teleporter to just like magically get your ship somewhere that it took you 3 hours to fly through manually.
Yeah, I mean, there was an awful... This is one thing that I got really confused about, was people got really annoyed about the ship transfer, not the ship transfer, the crew transfer. You'd immediately telepresence into someone else's ship, and people got really annoyed about that. And I was there thinking...
It's only telepresence. I mean, okay, it breaks the speed of light, but we do that
It breaks
anyway.
everything.
Yeah, but it's gamification of a mechanic, and they have said that, come on, it's gamification here.
So,
You've got trying to make it an interesting game, not a game. Go on, Chris. Go.
I think it's weird they've still kept it in, because what happens for me when I need to transfer a ship and it's going to be like 30 minutes is I set the transfer going, and then I go and play another game. So it's basically, it moves me out of the game, which makes you think by wanting to get more and more people to go, you don't want that. And I don't think a screwdriver actually decreases transit time. It's just a flat number for whatever reason. I'm surprised it's still in there. I kind of assumed with them wanting to get more people in, they'd probably go, do we actually want to have a built-in mechanism that makes people potentially stop playing while they wait? Because it's the same with like fleet carrier jumps. That's just for server reasons. That's fine. Your ship isn't, probably, don't know. Surprisingly, it's still in it at this point. I assumed they'd gone, let's not actually have a artificial quit route for people.
Yeah,
not quit route, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've seen someone cheekily in the chat room go, pay ARCs for quicker transfers.
It is really interesting that they're asking. I mean, there's so many issues with the game. It always makes me, it always intrigues me when something like this just sort of pops out of the blue, and you think, why are you raising that?
Yeah.
All of a sudden. Yeah, go on, Ben.
I totally agree with what Chris is saying about why do something that's going to get you out of the game. But then I think you could almost argue it's kind of the same as managing inventory in Minecraft and things like that. It's not, obviously managing inventory doesn't get you out of the game, but it's just a bullshit job that you have to get done. And and I can waste so much time trying to manage things in various games like that it just sort of it does my head in as well when it could be done so easily. Just give me a sort button kind of thing. But what I've always wanted, putting it in sort of in current day terms, let me, I'm in Birmingham at the moment. I can phone my wife and say, "Hey, sweetie, could you please post this down to me?" I don't have to, or even more, I could be like, "Hey, sweetie, could you post this to the hotel I'll be staying at in Aberdeen in a week's time?" Why do I have to go to Aberdeen to get her to post it to me?
Right, I see what you mean.
So it's like, if I'm on a fleet carrier, why can't I, or if I'm at a fleet carrier or I'm on a station, why can't I say, "Hey, could you please move my ship from Lave to Hotton Orbital?"
Yeah, that's probably, we'll put it in the suggestions list because that's the kind of, all right, fair enough then. Because that's the kind of feedback that they're looking for. So there you go. You have now been notified about the ship transfer time.
And this is, funnily enough, this is exactly what Sinister Hedgehog on the purple thing that, on the purple thing is saying.
Yeah.
Rich, that's the word.
Oh God, yeah, I see what you mean about asking for things to be pushed to somewhere else rather than pulled to where you are.
Yeah.
God, yes, please.
Yeah, it makes so much more sense. And don't make it locked to where I am. I don't have to be at Shinata Desra to move something from Shinata Desra. I just get in touch with the postmaster at Shinata Desra and say, "Hey, could you shove that there, please?"
Lovely. Yeah. Yep. So, like I said, we've put a link in the show notes for people to click in that if they on that forum suggestion thing if they want. So yeah. Incidentally, I know this is slightly disconnected, but do you feel that the good old Apex taxi should get an upgrade with an SCO drive?
Yes, why not? That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it's needed.
And they should use dolphins, not adders.
I'm with you there, to be honest. But then again, but you can't because a dolphin isn't multi-crew.
Do people use taxis much? Out of curiosity, I don't think I've used one for months and months and months.
I've used one a couple of times in the last month or so, but only for doing on foot stuff, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's I lost my ship. I crash landed near a settlement. I was able to get a taxi back. So that's I think used that a couple of times. So. Yeah.
Once again, though, we're talking about something that essentially is playing the game for you, so you can fly all the way to Seoul while you go off and do the hoovering.
Well, no, not if they improve the SEO drive, because then it'll be over. Give them SEO drive.
Yeah, without that way, though, but you know what I mean.
Because the one advantage of the SEO, it gets you to the content a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And
but you still got to do like 20, 30 jumps, maybe. That's kind of what I'm meaning. It still takes time while he jumps from A to B to C.
Could do, yeah. One thing that I should point out at this moment, Steam reviews on Odyssey, which has been negative since it was basically launched, it's now gone to mixed, and also if you look at the latest ones, it's gone to mostly positive. So it does feel like Odyssey has turned a corner as far as Steam reviews is concerned. About the same amount of time it took No Man's Sky to turn it around as well. So that's interesting.
Give it 2 weeks.
Give it another go. Yeah. Right. I'm going to hand over to Alec for the massive amount of community news there is.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Bring out your dead. Right, we have a bunch of mostly power play related stuff this week, unsurprisingly. First thing I wanted to shout out was a forum thread by Ian Doncaster, who ever the sort of genius who breaks down how all the internal systems of the game works and posts very thoughtful commentary and analysis on those kind of things. So he's produced a very interesting thread called Power Maps Preview. Basically, one of the things about Powerplay, as I understand it, is that there's this kind of influence that pushes out from the stronghold to ultimately out to the sort of exploited systems, and there's a kind of range and that determines, yeah, which systems you can exploit and which systems you can turn into strongholds and so on. So he's been playing with different types of visualization to kind of express these sort of three-dimensional maps other than what we get in the galaxy map, and there's a variety of different different visualizations that he's been playing with, and they're really interesting. I know you had a look, Colin. I don't know if you've got a more sort of educated view of what they represent, because I'm still quite new at Powerplay. But
yeah, I mean, it's these here are showing the strongholds and the fortified systems and how they relate to each other at the moment. Ian, I have to take my hat off and say, man, where do you find the time? Because yeah, that's impressive. So you can find out which systems are in range of which stronghold and which is linked to which fortified system is supported by a stronghold. So it can give you an idea of the top two levels. The bottom level, the exploited level, that's going to be too big for any diagram because there are hundreds of exploited systems. Each power has hundreds of exploited systems.
yeah, that's what I'll find out in a little bit. But it explodes, doesn't it?
It'd be too big to put on. But it's nice to get a top-down map.
It's great. Honest. I don't know how he's produced these, but anyway, yeah, very nice. So I was a big fan of a good visualization. Right, next we have a bunch of video guides that have come out this week. They're all excellent. So Mile 13 has produced Mile 13 Gaming has produced a Powerplay 2.0 Everything You Need to Know complete guide, which is a fantastic watch. A really good intro to Powerplay if you're sort of new or even not so new. It's just a really good run through of the basics of Powerplay. Everything you need to know. Excellent vid. Then he also had a follow-up on completing the power commodities tasks. I think because there were a bunch of questions on his first video, so he's made it's quite short, but it's an entire video on just completing the power commodities task where you have to pick up. You have like 3 commodities and they're each for different types of system, and you have to collect a bunch and know which ones to pick up and where to take them. On a similar vein, Dituri's Elite, who makes some fantastic beginner's guides, has done their own beginner's guide to Powerplay. Just another spin, really, on the intro, but again, really good. Goes through all the basics really nicely. So strongly recommend giving both of those a watch. Even if you sort of, like I have, just spent your first week or so in Powerplay, it's just nice to have it confirm that you're either doing things right or that you've missed a trick or two. Possibly the most detailed of the Powerplay guides is a fantastic video that came out yesterday from Captain MD13, which is called, I need to remind myself now, it's on Captain MD's 13's channel, and it's called A Guide to the Actions of Powerplay 2. It's quite long, but I found the time flew past. Actually, it's like 23 minutes long. And what he's done, so if you go into the game and go to the Powerplay sort of help page, there's a list of all the activities you can do in all the different systems. So what activities you can do in exploited systems, what activities you can do in acquisition systems and strongholds, and he goes down literally the entire list, explaining every single activity and how to carry it out. And there's some real detail in there that God knows how he's had the time to sort of analyze this, but there's some real detail that I wasn't aware of, and I need to kind of watch this again about things that are within range of loads of little detail. It's a really good video. Yeah, right. That's these are always fantastic. I don't really need to recommend these. Everyone should be subscribed to the High Wake by now. But it's I think this is the first in a new series. It's called Commander Stories, and it's little stories that he's been sent or picked up on, I guess, from things that have been happening in the community and made a story around it. So I've just realised I haven't got a feature. And he of the questionable vocal talents, shall we say, has sort of completed the I Spy book of exobiology. So he's gone all around the galaxy and scanned everything there is to be scanned. I think there's very few people that have actually achieved that. Anyway, so the High Wake cartoon talks about that. Next, two more things to cover. There's a new blog from Nicey, nicely set to coincide with Lave Radio every week. This week's Nicey blog is From Ships to Suits, Let's Try Odyssey Combat. I haven't actually read this one. Has anyone else here read the Nicey blog?
I'm afraid not.
I had a quick read of it, and it's just nice going their experience going from pretty much just ship combat into ground combat, and it turns out somehow, and I don't understand this, Nicey likes the plasma sniper rifle.
Is that the one that's notoriously slow? Its projectiles.
Yeah, it's the one where JFK probably could have rolled out his car, done a little dance, got back in, and still not been shot.
Right, brilliant.
Yeah, it's so slow.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah, no. Funnily enough, my I'm sure there's probably a name for this because I bet you can do it in other kind of games as well. But my preferred on foot technique is the shotgun, and it's basically to hide around a corner and then run straight towards my target, blast them with a shotgun, and then run away again. Sort of hit and run tactic with a shotgun. I love doing that.
Mine is running over pirates in an SRV, especially in low gravity worlds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice game of punt the pirate, I think. See how far you can kick him.
Yeah, that's always fun. The last thing we've got is a video from the Winged Hussars. It was the Winged Hussars' 9th birthday, and I gather they did all sorts of events and things during the week, but they ended up with a fantastic station parade and then mass jump. So this is a video of just the mass jump, Ben, or is there sort of other stuff? I saw the mass jump at the start.
It's just I think it's just the mass jump.
Always a great spectacle. Love a good mass jump.
Yeah.
And that's about it for this week.
Excellent.
A bit light.
Bit light, but then again, everybody's busy power playing, I think. So if you have a community event that's taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airwaves, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com, or Alec will hunt you down. He will
Actually,
find it.
What was interesting was Captain MD's power play breakdown of all the activities. I think the first time almost ever, 3 separate people recommended that video to me and said, "Are you going to include it in this week's show?" Yes, it's already in the show notes. So
that's interesting.
Very popular.
Right. So the in-game events. What has been happening this week? Well, we have had one Galnet news article on the 7th of November. A new dawn for humanity. It's effectively where political analysts have a quick summary or evaluation of the powers, and that's it.
Is this the one that features this new guy called Jeremy Archer?
Yep. And Kane, of course. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. In other news, we have the Thargoid War, which, boy, they weren't lying when they say things have gone quieter. We've had no alerts this week rather. We've had 2 evasions, both cleared. 87 controlled systems remain, of which 17 have been cleared this week. There's 1 Titan left, of course. 9 are in recovery, and Kokyo has 80 so control systems left with 2 spires within them. So yeah, the 2 spire sites are still active if you want to do your Mario jumping. So yeah, that's it for the Thargoid War. Is that going to be it, or do people think that they've still got something up their sleeve, or are they just going to let it run?
Well,
don't have sleeves.
Arthur did. There was a whole thing. What was it? Which I feel we haven't seen yet, where Arthur was doing his Emperor Palpatine memes again about the last.
Yeah, he puts the Emperor Palpatine memes in when nothing ever happens. It's just so keep them guessing.
Like the triangles.
Yeah, he usually does have something up his sleeve when he does it. I feel like there's something we haven't seen that he was hinting at. So I don't know. It was interesting you were saying about the spires, Colin, because I'd forgotten that they were down to their last couple, and just this morning on Twitter I saw somebody post a screenshot of a sunset at a spire site, basically saying this is the last sunset on this spire site or something, and it was quite poignant. It was making me think, gosh, they really are about to go. So I might have to stop doing Powerplay tomorrow and actually go and visit the last 1 or 2.
Yeah, we'll point out that the old spire sites, the deactivated ones, they're still there. You can still visit them and
as a feature, as a sort of geographical feature, they're still there to visit, and they are cool. But nice to see them with things running around.
Yes, yeah, much more. So I'm going to introduce the new thing now. Well, we've touched on it a little bit, but I went into a little bit more detail. We have the Powerplay standings. Now, in the show notes, you'll find a table which will show the powers, their number of strongholds, fortified, exploited, and overall total of systems. And I have to say that the top 3 of Mahan, Aisling, and Arissa remain unchanged. Mahan's got a total of 1,343 systems. Aisling has 1,221, and Arissa has 1,144. Grom has been making headway in actually catching up with the big 3, but we'll have to wait and see whether or not they can keep that momentum going. And underneath Grom, you've got Alex Power of Anatal.
Go on, Antel. Go on, son.
Yes. So they're well behind actually with almost with 651 systems. So that's it's half of what Aisling's got. So yeah. So you got a full breakdown in the show notes for those of you who are interested, and of course we'll be able to track the movers and shakers as things progress over the next few weeks. You never know.
As people slowly learn all the exploits.
About that, yes. So that brings us to that time of the week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your arts. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your arts.
I don't know about you guys, but did Chris and Mark 4 just volunteer to do the top 10 every week?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
100%.
Right, store alert. What have we got? We've got quite a lot actually. The Void Black skins are now back in the store, including Void Black for the Python Mark II and the Type 8. So yes, they're reasonably expensive. About 6,000. Well, the void ones are about 10 grand each. So
Yeah.
that's a fiver.
The
But
non-sale ships, right, for the Python Mark II and the Type 8, they're 10 grand each.
Yeah, and for the rest are 6,500.
I've heard from several people that they are super cool though, because they're they're black, but then purple from one angle and kind of green from another angle. So it's got that sort of lovely sort of iridescent. Yeah, they're lovely. I might have to get one.
I don't think I can afford to get one. I spent too much on arcs for the Mandalay, so yeah, I'll leave that for next time.
You've blown all your just about rewards.
Yeah, that's the point. I really need to do some more just about rewards. That's what I need to do.
Yeah,
I do wish they did a Night Black for the Mandalay.
Yeah.
I really think they missed the trick because I think it would look amazing on the Mandalay. And I really think they missed the trick by not doing it. They're always really slow bringing paint to the new ships. Like, yeah, I know it's new, but this is a time where you you bring these things out because you encourage people. You upsell, don't you?
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
feel horrible for saying that.
Maybe they're saving. Well, here's the thing: the Type 8. Can you get that for credits now? Very soon, right? If not
Yeah,
now.
it should be at the end of the month.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe they're thinking with the Mandalay that they don't want to sell a paint job until more people have got the ship. I don't know.
What, they're allergic to money?
Well, if you time it wrong, if the paint job comes out before the ship's out, then
ship's out though.
Well, it is for
Yeah.
For arcs.
That's you go look. You can buy it with arcs and this pretty paint.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
I was gonna say, hey, look, I'm already in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it must be pointed out that over the last couple of weeks, we did mention it slightly, but there's now 120 new skins that they've actually released with the combination of Ascendancy and the Void Black. It's a phenomenal amount of skins for people to look at. I mean, I think I've got enough for maybe one.
That's partly because there's skins for every power now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, although they don't actually say this is Ashlings, they sort of say this is an Empire evaluation one, which looks like the same colours that Ashlings got. Well, it's slightly different from the ones that you think that match the colours that Arissa's got. So it's they're not all the same, but it's hard to tell which green is the Alliance.
Well, that's the thing. Like the Alliance one can't even agree on a green. A bit like the map, it's just kind of given up and gone. Yeah, but I can't tell why each one's a different price either. Like they kind of look almost the same to me, apart from might be a slightly darker green, and that's worth 2k more.
Unless, of course, if they reflect differently. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Game, like you look at in game, and it's in the preview, and it's just impossible to tell. So,
it is a shame actually. Now I'm sure I've raised this on the show before. I'm sure there used to be a way when you were in game and looking at a new skin of being able to rotate the ship. And I just cannot find how to do it anymore.
Can you not do it from the main menu?
No, I tried that. It's just either my bindings don't work or maybe it doesn't work with analog bindings, which I think is what I've got on it. Maybe I need to try it differently. And like when I bought my I bought one of the Mandalay skins, especially with skins being so expensive now. Like you really don't want to buy until you're sure what it's going to look like. Luckily, the skin I wanted to buy, I think Rini in the Burr Pit had a little bit of video, and she sent me a clip of 10 seconds of video, and that was brilliant because I could see, you could see it moving and see how the light reflects off it and how it changes, and it was like, yep, sold. But yeah, with something like these void blacks, it's so crucial on how it changes in different light conditions.
Yeah, so someone needs to fly these so you don't have to.
I'd almost quite, do you know, I don't know, I guess Frontier wouldn't go for this, and maybe it's too complex in terms of financial transactions and things, but it'd be quite nice if you had like what do you call schemes where you can get your money back within the first couple of hours. So you could buy it, try it, go out the space station, fly it around and go, nah, don't like it.
You know what I think would be a better idea is if they said there's a set fee for a year, and for that you can actually put in a set number of skins and swap them out on different ships. So something like
before you buy, thank you, Psychic.
Skins as a service.
Skins as a service, yes. That sounds so wrong, Ben. That really does. Anyway, that's not the only thing that's in the store. We also have the Mandalay Quest Pack, which is an exploration-themed ship kit with some emissive lighting, 3 themed kit pieces for your ship with 4 paint jobs. And I must admit, I'm looking at this, and at the back, those canisters look like emergency life rafts from cruise ships.
Yeah, they totally do.
Yeah. I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
I was appalled because my first reaction was, why in God's name would anyone want to do that to the Mandalay? Because it's such a sleek, graceful-looking ship. What it reminds me of, Beetlejuice said this as well, but it was my first thought too. It reminds me of when you see a bumblebee that's got fat lumps of, pollen stuck to its legs, with these big sort of bulbous yellow canisters stuck all over it. I think it's awful.
What did you say, Chris?
Gosh.
Oh, right. Fair enough. So that's 2 thumbs down. Ben, are you going to give it 3 thumbs down?
The only thing I could vaguely say is if they made it bigger, they could pretend they're doing something from The Expanse and trying to hide a gunship.
Okay, fair enough. I must admit, I'm looking at it myself and thinking, don't know, I don't think so. I'll give that one a pass. But yes, nice that it's there. Yeah. So we're going to take a ad break for a bit, and we'll come back with our main discussion.
There's bargains, bargains, bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave business directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low.
Dreams. Humanity's dreams. The hope to live among the stars. From early times, we've gazed up to the heavens and wondered if one day we could travel there. Maybe even live there. The Brewer Corporation has made this dream a reality. Constructing intricate cathedrals of metal, circling numerous planets across thousands of systems in our human bubble. Why stay rooted in a gravity well when you can be free in orbit, free to dream? free to live, and one day to become the commander and be free to blaze your own trail. Brewer Corporation, the first step into the unknown. Come join us. Be free.
Space is vast, and pirates have needs just like anyone else. Introducing the Lonely Pirate Handbook, the ultimate resource for lonely pirates. Our guide covers the hot spots and not spots of interstellar space, from smugglers' dens to space station taverns, with helpful chapters such as how to be presentable in polite society, how to get rid of that nefarious rank, and my favorite, occasionally shower. Are your early advances often mistaken for attempts to rob or plunder?
Oh, I've come a long way for what's in your hold. Prepare to be boarded.
Friendship charge detected.
Oh.
Buy today and receive the Lonely Pirates Chat-Up Guide for free.
I've got a very large hard point. Would you like to see my very large hard point?
You're so hot. You're making my temperature critical.
Lower your shields. I want to inspect the goods.
Come back to my place. I might let you touch my A-rated anaconda.
Are you smuggling illegal goods? Because you've got fine written all over you.
The Lonely Pirates Handbook. Now available in all Anarchy bookstores. We'll teach you to loot anyone's heart.
And welcome back. Well, as per usual, we thought as Powerplay settles in, we'd go around the crew and see how they're finding it, because I know that both myself, Alec, and the Chris Mark V have delved into Powerplay in a rather deep way. I'm not sure whether Ben has, but no doubt he'll have opinions. And we've also got the Chris Mark IV, who might have questions he'd like to ask us.
Yeah, I can talk to you about why flumes have square bottoms and things like that.
It's a good thing Psychic
Ben
not
on
on
a
this week, to
different
be honest.
channel?
Otherwise, it would just be a Planet Coaster week, and wouldn't get a word in.
Oh, I see. He's wanting. He's got his planetary coaster base set up somewhere, has he?
Sorry, I lost that. What did you say, Colin?
You've got your planetary your planet base set up as a coaster, have you?
My planet base would be a coaster, yes, if I could at the moment.
Right. So let's go around the crew and see how they've been doing with Powerplay. So we'll start with the Chris Mark V. Now, the first question I do have to ask is, are we going to need that motorized soapbox?
No, I don't think so. I don't really have anything overly... So, experience. First week, weekly assignments, fine. Kind of bumbled around. Eventually got up to rank 3 or something. So not particularly far in. I found going off to do passenger rescue missions because it's Kane is actually really lucrative. So yeah, that was good. Got to week 2, which is obviously the week we're on now. And of my 5 weeklies, I've managed to do 3. 2 I can't be arsed with. One of them is going to other powers settlements and try and get power information downloaded, but you can't be seen by anyone. So I went in and I'm going to do stealth the good fashioned way by killing everyone, because they can't report me if they're all dead.
Okay, obviously, yes.
So I downloaded the power information. Doesn't count.
Oh.
Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. My other one is go and scan 11 mega ships in reinforcement systems.
Uh-huh.
I can't be arsed doing that. I don't even know how to find mega ships in reinforcement systems other than finding all the reinforcement systems and one by one enter them into Nara to see if they've got a mega ship. Which is where I discovered my first pain, which is stronghold systems count as reinforcements.
Yes.
However, your power's home system is a special case where it's a stronghold, but because it's your home system, it doesn't count for scanning mega ships.
Yes.
Which is stupid, and it doesn't tell you that anywhere. There is no mention that it's a special type of system.
Well, they do mention that it's a special kind of system and the fact that you can't lose it. But yeah, they
I
didn't.
suppose by dint of that, you also can't reinforce it. There's no point
No, but
reinforcing
it comes under the reinforcement filter.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
reinforce it, but it won't count as a reinforcement system for scanning megaships. But I was just like sacked off because I couldn't be arsed. You know,
Yes.
there's no in-game to go, does this system have a megaship? I have to rely on third-party tools or ask around in the Key Kane Discord to see if anybody knows where some happen to be.
Yeah.
Which doesn't feel kind like... Is that how they wanted me to play it? Is to leave the game, go and ask, come back into the game, do a thing, because you can only scan a megaship once per week.
Yes, that's right.
So if I get 3 off someone, then I've got to come back out the game, ask again, go and find another bunch. Just feels a bit of a weird gameplay loop, shall we say?
Yes.
Maybe you could do that whilst you're waiting for your ship to arrive.
That's true. Get a list of them, yeah. But yeah, that just feels a bit of a weird disconnect. Other than that, I've been having a great time. I did get the legendary hack holograph. You know, the advertisement boards.
Yes.
But it's in your own system. I did get that. However, I was lucky because it was a reinforcement system, so I could unhack the boards.
Yeah.
Apparently, not everybody's getting that lucky.
Right.
That's it. I'm having fun with it.
You're having fun with it, but there are still niggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll move on to Alec then.
Yeah. So on the whole, I really like it. I'm getting a good sense of purpose from it. I picked Pranav Antal. I joined the Discord. It's good Discord, nice group of people, good info. Yeah, but the weeklies, the thing that I'm finding, same sort of thing as Chris, really, in the second week, is that of my 5 of my 6 weeklies, I think were problematic for three of them were problematic for one reason or another, and it's all this stuff where it's like, you can do escape pods, but not in that system or not in that state, or it's got to be in range of that. So so you do stuff and then you get no merits, and you think, well, why am I not getting any merits for this? So the 3 I had that were difficult. Let's have a think. One of mine was to go and get bounties.
Yeah.
I forget what the state was, and it turned out the system was an anarchy. So my first problem was that nobody is flagged as wanted in an anarchy. So I was like, well, where the hell are my targets?
Yeah.
Even though there was a res site. So then what somebody kindly suggested I do was take a mission from a neighboring system to eliminate 10 pirates in the system I've been sent to. So I did that, and that's good because then they show up as my mission targets. But you don't get any bounties because anarchists don't issue any bounties. So it's like, how am I supposed to get bounties from this stupid system if it's an anarchy and it doesn't issue bounties? Now it turns out what you could do is get a kill warrant scanner, and then the bounties that are actually from other systems, not the one that the mission says, do count. So that was that one done. The next one I had to do was get wreckage, like power wreckage.
Yeah.
So that was easy. There's the power wreckage signatures, and with the new SEO drive, and again, this was a specific system I had to go to. So I go to this system, I get a load of power wreckage, I take it to the power contact. The first power contact I went to didn't even have a place to hand in wreckage.
Oh.
The second one I went to did, and again, it didn't count. I just didn't get any merits for it, and it just didn't count towards my weekly. It's like, what the fuck, this stupid bloody game. In the end, on that one, what I had to do was take the wreckage to a planetary settlement and hand it in at the normal search and rescue.
Oh.
And it turned out that counted. Go figure.
Yeah.
The third one, which I just have not been able to complete, is I have to get escape pods in an undermining system. And
right.
I have collected escape pods from power wreckages. I've killed convoys and scooped up their escape pods. I've got escape pods from other systems, and I've delivered them to this system and to stronghold systems and to. I've done every bloody combination I can think of collecting escape pods from places in or out of this system and delivering them to this system or others, and nothing works on that one. So I really hope next week when I get a new set of weeklies that this one doesn't just stick, because otherwise I'm shafted and can't do any more weeklies, and it's very annoying.
Yeah. I mean, I am laughing in sympathy, to be honest. I think that's the best way of saying it.
Is this ringing a bell with you, Colin? Is this sounding familiar?
Yes. This is exactly what. I mean, the first week where you got your introductory tasks. So you start you can start getting your the tasks that you have to do.
Yeah, first week was great.
Yeah, they were really good introductions to what's needed to do. This week, I have 2 tasks of scanning megaships. I need to get 11 megaships in acquisition systems and 11 megaships in reinforcement systems for some reason, because Arissa really likes her scans. you get tons of merits if you scan a megaship, because that's what she likes doing. For some reason, she likes to know where her megaships are going. So that one's been a challenge to do, because like Little Bacon says, there's no way in game to actually know where the megaships are. So I have been jumping blind from system to system looking for megaships, which is stupid. Yes, I know I should use Anara, but if I do that, I come out of the game and I kind of lose my way. However, what I have been doing is part of the other deals is because Arissa does bounty hunting well. I've been going into a lot of unidentified signal sources that I normally don't. Normally, if I'm on a trade run, I ignore the signal sources. I don't go anywhere near them, and I have been going into a whole lot more of them, and I can't remember how long it takes, but normally within the first minute or so, if a scenario in that signal source kicks off, if it'll kick off after about a minute. So if you hang around for a minute, the chances are, if you're in there longer than a minute, nothing's happened, nothing's going to happen. However, I went into, I think it was only a threat 3 convoy, and then lo and behold, I was in there for a minute, 1 minute 30 seconds, and all of a sudden they went, "We've got a problem. We've got incoming enemies. Do you want to defend? We were asking you to defend us." And I went, I forgot that these kind of scenarios were actually in the game.
Yeah, me too.
And that also happened to one of the megaships, because I was on one of my way to scan the megaships, and they said, "We've got some incoming pirates. Please defend us." And the pirates were saying, "Hey, do you want to take this megaship apart?" And so I went, "No, I'll defend you." And the pirates were bloody hard. They were all elite rated anacondas. And I'm there going, hang on a second, I'm only a novice Python. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, the weeklies, the idea of them as signposting all the different features of the game is fantastic, but it feels like the complexity and sort of problematical level of them has gone from 1 to 11. Week 1, here's some difficulty 1 tasks. Week 2, here's some difficulty 11 tasks, some of which are literally impossible.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's got to the point where, okay, I'm doing the weeklies, which I think I can possibly do, which in this week has been 2. I'm not going to be going around all the rest of the blooming megaships. But once I've done that, I'm on the Arissa Discord, and I'm looking at where they want us to focus our efforts. And I am finding that is that's getting me into Powerplay 2 more than just following the weeklies, because I'm actually not interested in getting the rewards. What I'm interested in is helping my power expand or defend against, or in this case, defend against Ashling, defending against Grom, defending against Denton Betrays. We're under attack by all sides, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm playing it slightly different. I am just going where my power needs me to go, and I'm not bothering about doing. Well, I'll do weekly tasks because it gets you merits, but I'm doing low-level weekly amounts because, to tell you the truth, I'm only at level 3. If I decided to go around and do all the weeklies, I'd probably be level 5 by now. But at the moment, I don't think it'd be fun, so I'm deciding what to do.
I think I'm on 5 actually. I mean, I'm not really chasing merits. I suppose I'm just chasing gameplay and variety of gameplay at the moment, and I thought the weeklies would be nice for that. I really wanted the weeklies to work, to sort of get me to try a little bit of everything. And I have, there are some lovely gameplay loops where you kind of take off from a station. You notice some of the holo ads aren't your power, so I don't know, you flip around and change a couple of the holo ads, and then you blast off to go somewhere else to, I quite like the activity of dropping into the power signatures and scooping up escape pods before enemy power ships show up and attack me, or my own power ships show up and start scooping the pods before I can get to them.
Oh, that's irritating, isn't it?
Yeah, I when it works, it's brilliant. It's just the frustration of being given all these tasks that don't seem to complete and not really knowing why, and having to turn to Inara or the community and go, has anyone else managed to do this?
Yeah. As I take it, you've been delving into the power signal sources.
Only really the wreckage ones, because
right.
they were giving me both salvage and escape pods.
Yeah, I was just wondering what everybody thought to them. That's all. I mean,
what else has they got? There's a convoy, isn't there? I've dropped into a few convoys, but I haven't really found them to do very much, for me at least.
Oh, I have. I found some very weird ones. I dropped into a convoy, and it was made up with 2 friendly ships and 2 enemy ships, all flying in a nice convoy together. And I'm there going, hang on, what are these 2 Winters ships doing next to ours? Are they being escorted? And I followed them for a bit and went, "Oh, sod this," and blew away the 2 enemy ships, and my 2 my power ships just carried on as if normal, like like wildebeest after the lions have got someone else.
Bizarre. Bizarre.
Yeah, but it's been good because I have been bounty hunting, if you like, round the nav beacons. And it is surprising how many enemy ships are in our systems.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I must say the Mandalay is a fantastic bounty hunting ship. I've been really enjoying that a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to bring Chris Mark 5 in here. He put a lot of dots in.
Yeah, it's just to say I've had the exact same scenario with the power convoys where they're just all flying together, nice and happy, and I'm like, shouldn't you two be trying to murder each other? There's not enough death. I demand more death, and then start killing the enemies. Almost tempted to kill the ones on my side for like being traitors, but I decided against it. The one thing I was going to say is that I agree that the weeklies are a good introduction to Powerplay. However, it makes it very obvious where Elite Dangerous is deficient in its player experience. That it basically goes, right, go and scan megaships.
Mm-hmm.
Right, good luck finding out where they are. Like,
yeah.
Something needs to happen there. Like, they need to bring something in. I don't know if it's going to be a filter in the galaxy map, maybe, or something needs to be added. And there'll probably be other things, I imagine. And I also think they're maybe missing some like validation going on for the weeklies to say, does this combination with this system actually make sense given the latest Powerplay standings? As per the tech does this make sense? Because I know some people got ones that just didn't, like you guys mentioned. I think the more it happens, the more it's going to show where the weaknesses is in the game and potentially turn people off it.
Yeah, very true.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because it is a changing map. You know, it is possible, like, for example, the one I've got to get escape pods in this undermining system. I think from watching Captain MD's video, I think the issue is that this particular undermining system where I'm supposed to do this is too far away from the nearest stronghold, where I think I'm supposed to take the escape pods. So it's not really within its sphere of influence or whatever. And I think it's possible that when the mission was generated, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're pre-generated on the tick or something, you know. So it's possible that when it was generated, the system was close enough, but it changed within a day or two to a state where it's not possible. I don't know.
I know somebody in Kane's Discord was saying that they got, you know, the hacking one in a system where it's impossible for them to be hacked. So it's just like, I can't do anything with this. And I was like, oh. I was like, do they not even appear for you to, like, reverse hack? And they were like, no, they don't change. So I'm like, oh, well, that's problematic.
Well, this is a question I've got to ask everybody. Is everybody in your if you've talked to other people in your power, do you all get the same weeklies, or does everybody individually get weeklies which are, I mean, tailored to them? Because I know that there are some which I've got to hand in data to the system that I was in at the tick, but I'm just wondering whether or not everybody gets the same kind of missions, whether it's everyone's got the scan 11 megaships in acquisition, 11 megaships in refinement.
No, I don't think they are the same, because that was one of the first places I went to was the Antel Discord with this escape pod mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple of people go, blah, 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 this is the answer.
Yep.
And then subsequently realized that actually their mission, it wasn't a specific system, for example, or so there's definitely variety for a given power, you know. I think,
that's interesting, because
which is neat.
Just think that there's a couple of more instances to look at. Right. So overall, I think we've got niggles that we're highlighting, but the overall experience is positive.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And on the other front of you know, Powerplay interrupting other things.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been doing for my sort of personal sanity, I suppose, is when I've achieved, it's just a little sort of system I set myself, I suppose, but when I achieved a weekly, and or when I got so sick of not being able to achieve a weekly, I've been flitting between Powerplay and also going back to ED Copilot's SRV time trials, because I've been a little bit absent and I've slipped down a couple of the leaderboards, and so I've been going back to places, you know, many of which are in the bubble and in the influence of other powers. So pootling around on planets trying to do time trials and things, and haven't been hassled at all, which I suppose is quite pleasing to announce. But I guess none of them are in strongholds. So yeah, my sort of experience of Powerplay getting in the way of other things I'm trying to do so far has been non-existent. But
right, but you haven't really been going into stronghold systems anyway.
No, and to be honest, yeah, I suppose my feeling is that I wouldn't mind if they ramped up the difficulty a bit. You know, if I was trying to do, I know Psychic would disagree with this, and I totally get, you know, that point of view as well. But as I've sort of said a couple of times, I'm kind of up for signing up for this idea of the galaxy being difficult. And frankly, if I go somewhere to try and do an SRV time trial, and occasionally get blown up halfway through, then I'm sort of okay with that if I can do it some of the time. You know, if it's so difficult that it's impossible, then I would unpledge in a shot. But equally, having signed up to Powerplay and maybe being in a system where I'm considered hostile, the fact that I never get hassled well, it doesn't feel quite right, and I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind being hassled occasionally.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
this is the thing that I've always had the issue with power play, and yes, I'll bang the drum again to say, listen, we really need a power play pause thing, and then ramp up the interactions so that you've got the pause. But yeah, I mean, incidentally, has anybody done any stronghold carrier raids yet? So that's on my to-do list, and I
No, I'd
haven't.
like to.
Yeah, I do know that in our Discord we do have people who organise them, which I think is fantastic. So you get in a wing of four, and you all go on a raid on a stronghold carrier group, which I think. It's like it being on the gin. I think that I think it's something that we've got to try, because from what I understand from people who have done it, it is an awesome experience and survivable. The other thing, how have you been dealing with bounties and hostile systems?
You mean getting them yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you mean as in shooting clean ships as far as the BGS is concerned, and then ending up with a bounty?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
is that
haven't.
winding you up?
Well, I haven't had that. I haven't had that issue. I haven't had that at all. Mostly because I've been bounty hunting in an anarchy.
Ah, that would explain it.
See previous discussion.
Flight interstellar factors and pay it off.
Yeah, but you can't get it paid off if you've got notoriety.
I've never managed to. I mean, you just do the. I mean, the other thing is you just go and land at your fleet carrier and just stay in game for like however many hours, and then pay it off at an interstellar factors.
Yeah, but then again, that is kind of, you've got to wait while your game sorts itself out.
Like, crime and punishment is just a mess anyway. So,
Oh, yeah.
But I do the bad things, and then I do what all rich people have done to circumvent justice. I throw money at the problem till it goes away.
Yes.
Peasants.
Yeah, pretty much. I will point out that you do not get bounties for killing clean enemy ships in an allied system. So I'll just point that one out, because I heard a lot of people complaining, and you can't even shoot the enemy in your own systems. Well, you can. That's not a problem.
So it's in their system. So if you go to an enemy powers system and one of the power ships attacks you but are not wanted, if you attack them back, then you've just shot her.
The way that it works, that I've seen it work, is that if an enemy ship, if there's an enemy ship there and you attack it and it's clean, then you will get a bounty as per crime and
in their
punishment
system,
rules.
but not in
their
your
system,
own.
but not in your own. If
fine.
if they're flying along in a convoy quite happily, and you decide, oh, sod this, I'm going to kill you, and you're in an allied system, absolutely fine. No bounty whatsoever, and no notoriety either.
Seems entirely fine.
Yeah, but when you go to other systems, if, however, the enemy ship hits you first and you're clean, then the crime and punishment works in the same way again. The bounty that you'll get for the enemy will, if they just attack you, will probably only be 100 credits, but still, that's good enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So if you're in an enemy system, you've got to let them shoot you first. So yeah. Right. So
what do you, I just wanted to touch on something else actually, Colin. What do you? So I have been avoiding the sort of meta for getting merits. There are ways of getting lots of merits, like trading rares and things. I'm not really that interested. Like I say, I'm more interested in the gameplay.
Yeah.
But there are some exploits, or well, let's put air quotes around exploits. Some more so than others. I won't detail them, but there are some. What's your feeling, Colin? Because obviously the problem is that with genuine exploits, which the community tends to find very quickly, and then people being what people are will do them over and over again for hours and hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
We are changing the face of the power play map. So even if those things get fixed, I just wonder what your view is on, rolling stuff back and things.
Well,
There are definitely
yeah.
changes happening to the power play map that are because of exploits, and I don't quite know what the answer is to that.
It all depends on the scale, because say last week when we had the explorers dump their data,
Mm.
yeah, that the amount of data that they dumped did make significant changes to, the power play sliders.
Yeah.
So it reinforced a lot of systems that, well, they wouldn't have been normally reinforced. So, we've now got strongholds where they wouldn't technically, if someone hadn't dumped all their data in those systems, then, they wouldn't be stronghold this week.
Right.
But yeah, that's the problem of it. If all of a sudden you've got tons of people who know about this exploit and put it in, and start saying, right, let's concentrate on this one system, then there's not much really you can do about it.
I guess if Frontier have the metrics, they can sort of roll those systems back. I mean, actually, so one of the exploits, at least in the Pranav Antal Discord, in the kind of channel where they're telling people what to go and do to further the ends of the power.
Yeah.
They're basically asking people not to use the exploits because they don't want to risk Frontier cottoning on. Well, Frontier deciding to roll stuff back. So they're sort of saying, don't do it because there's a chance that Frontier will take all
What is
those
it,
away
though?
again. So only do sort of legitimate stuff.
Chris wants to know what the exploit is. DM him.
Yeah, I mean, so things like the Explorers, it's almost not an exploit. It's like an oversight that Frontier hadn't considered. And there can't be that many people out there with 4 years of data that actually want to come back and dump it into Powerplay. But anyway, but
Yeah.
there are a couple of exploits where you can do things over and over again that you're not supposed to be able to do over and over again. And then people are just doing it for 2 hours and getting thousands of merits.
Yeah.
I'll PM you off where, because I don't like propagating these kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be something for Frontier to sort out, because if you do have those kind of exploits, that's something that they've missed in the design, and that it needs to be reduced, because and this is the start of a war, because someone will come up with a new exploit, and then they've got to plug that gap and all that kind of stuff. So it's it's kind of an ongoing circle of exploit and fix from now on, I suppose.
In a way, it's funny, like when you consider the content that we had last year, all based around the Thargoid War, I totally get why Frontier didn't do betas for it, because it was content and they didn't want spoilers. But actually, when you think about Powerplay 2, it's the sort of thing where normally you would have a beta, because you don't want these kind of exploits and bugs affecting the live balance of this big game of Risk, or whatever you want to, however you want to think of it. And it's sort of too late to it's too late to change it once it's out in the wild.
Yeah, that is one of the problems with these systems, is that once it's out in the wild, how do you control it?
Yeah, unless you sort of say, sorry everyone, false start, we're going to roll all the numbers back to how they were in the week of release and try again. Sorry. They can't really, they're not really going to do that.
That would go down. That would go down like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
And then some, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Right. Has anybody got any final points they want to make about Powerplay that we can touch on? Any final points they want to? Nope. Yes? No?
No.
Nope. Right. Okay. So we're a bit power played out this week, I think. We'll try and talk about something else next week. Right. That brings us on to the question of the week. So the question came out at the usual time, 2:30ish, while Chris Mark IV was on Black Diamond FM. The question is, based on what you know so far, how do you think colonization will work, and how do you want it to work? So we'll start with Little Big Yin.
Hi, that's me.
It is.
Okay, so my hope is that it's going to be based off squadrons, which I know will make lots of people very angry. And particularly squadrons that are aligned with a minor faction, because that gives you a starting point. And I hope that when you say, I want to colonize this, the Royal Navy sails over and, the British Army and shoots everyone. No. Basically, it becomes a mini CG for the squadron, for that area. And somebody proposes a system, the economy settlement types, and away it goes. And maybe each different economy/settlement type will have a different, items requirements. So you say, I want this to be a tourist system, or I want this to be a high-tech system, and that'll have different things you need to get. I hope you can have a say in what goes in, either an Orbis or whatever the other type of station is, that I can never remember what it's called. What's the Orbis is a long one, and the other one that Lave is.
Oh, that's Coriolis.
Yeah, so you can pick like Coriolis, Orbis, and my personal favorite, asteroid stations. Please,
let's set up our own asteroid station.
Yes, if there's an appropriate belt, please let us have an asteroid station. Please, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, fair enough. I'm right with you about asteroid systems. The one thing, are they going to let us name our systems and stations, or will they be procedurally generated?
I think they'll have to procedurally generate them. Otherwise, they're going to have to either have some sort of automated review thing, which will catch false positives, or they're going to have someone review them manually.
Oh God, feel sorry for them.
Yeah, and Frontier probably do not have the time/money for that.
Yeah.
So I think it's more likely that it will be auto-generated from, a bunch of
list.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, procedurally generated.
Yeah.
How does it work with fleet carriers? Like naming.
You can name your own fleet carrier, can't you?
And then other people, so they have a square list, and other people see asterisks if you've called it.
I think so. Yeah, I've seen.
Just
asterisks. Also, Mac makes a very good point. Mac Linton makes a very good point.
Yeah, I suppose so. Max saying that if you name stations, then it devalues the Kickstarter station naming, which people paid a lot of money to be able to do.
That is, it is 10 years ago.
But also, I mean, I suppose no. Actually, I forget that. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just as entitled now as I was 10 years ago, if I'd done this.
Bring back the Cobra Mark IV.
We've been through this. It doesn't exist.
Don't need to bring it back. I've already got a Cobra Mark IV, and it's shit.
I know the only ship that was pay to lose. I have Nicey. I wouldn't be.
Okay, I won't bother giving my opinion then.
Oh, sorry, Ben. You've been so quiet. I think your turn.
Yeah, the way I would probably, the way I expect it to be done is you go and spend several billion to buy let's call it a base carrier. And then it's exactly like a fleet carrier. You fly it where you are. If you're within range, which is going to be longer than I want it to be, and probably shorter than other people want it to be. If you're within range, then once again you can spend N billion to start up a colony.
Mm-hmm.
How you customize the colony, how you build and grow the colony, I don't know. I've got a feeling it's going to be lowest common denominator and give money Plix / maybe give titanium or coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It has to be a proc gen name.
Right.
The time to dick is just too fast. And remember, all of these dicks are going to go into systems like Inara and so on as well. So
yeah, that's a point.
You know, we just know we don't want this. Yeah, I think it's going to be using as many existing assets as they can do.
Yeah, so you don't expect there to be well, there's obviously the depot or the main station because they showed that off.
Yeah.
But, we're starting off a small outpost and then maybe building it up to a Coriolis, or if you're even lucky, an Orbis or something like that.
Something like that,
yeah. That seems appropriate. Alec, have you got any thoughts on this?
Not really. I don't think. No, not really. I think it's just such what. Yeah, too little information. I mean, I sort of agree with some of the things that This is me protecting my expectations, I suppose, but I doubt we can name them. I don't think placement will be very exciting. I can only be pleasantly surprised if I have those
low expectations.
Yeah, low expectations.
Yeah. I mean, is there a target system that you sort of think, oh, I wouldn't mind putting my base down on that? Because I know I've got one. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want anybody to start off heading there. But
I mean, I've got some that are stupidly far from the bubble, and it would take years to get there, I suspect.
Yeah. Right.
I've just got a type I want to make.
Okay.
I'll sort out the location separately. Which is tourist system. I just want my own little tourist system.
Fair enough.
But hopefully with an asteroid base, because I think it might be one of the very few tourist asteroid bases.
Oh, just imagine the views. The asteroid base in the
bases. They're good.
Yeah, in the middle of a ring, and you're looking at the gas giant and saying, "Come and have a look at the views from our asteroid base." I could see that working as a tourist attraction.
Also, they're cool.
Yeah. Especially if it's all purple. Don't know why I thought purple, but yeah.
I don't even know where that comes from.
It's one of the systems down in the Pleiades. I can't remember. I think it was the Hive's base, and they've got a Coriolis in the middle of an asteroid belt round a gas giant, and it's all purple, and it looks amazing. I can't remember the name of the system. I've got it on my favorites somewhere because occasionally when I head down there, it's really nice. Right. Well, let's go through the questions that we got for people coming back. I've got Nicey. I wouldn't be surprised if we were limited by a half a fleet carrier's jump range, because the colonisation carriers are 2 fleet carriers gaffer taped together, so about 250 light years. It might be like a set of really local CGs to get do this to get to the next stage kind of thing. Having said that, I am fully ready to be proven wrong and really excited for what they may do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, this idea of CGs. I've heard a lot of people sort of talk that. So what's your sort of thinking on the CG thing, that the other commanders will just chip in and help you as the architect of this bit of colonization achieve your thing because they get some reward as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I can see how if you had your squadron with you, and you sort of said, right, guys, I would like to build a base here. Can you guys in the squadron help me out with this? And like a building society, sort of when it's your turn to do a base, I'll help you out with that. But
For the wider community, I suppose, like any CG, I suppose there could be rewards up for grabs, and so it just incentivizes people to.
yeah, but that says to me, as a player, you've got to provide those rewards. And
Maybe.
Yeah, that's you could end up with a couple of big T9s turning up, and before you know it, you're broke.
Yeah, you could end up in debt for the next 5 years because you're still paying off the rewards to the CG that built your own system. Yeah, Ben, you got something to say on that?
Yeah, do you guys remember the group missions that we've got?
Oh yeah, the wing missions.
Yeah, the group the wing delivery missions.
Yes.
I think it's I would not be at all surprised if it's essentially along those lines.
That's a good point. I mean, sort of you could.
Yeah, it's not a CG, but it's something I can share with my mates.
Yeah, or even better, share with the squadron.
Or with squadron or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can also just get on with it myself.
Yeah, that does sound like a positive way to go.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have Vold Flames who says quite simply, someone will find and colonize Raxler. Credits roll and the server shut down. The end.
The end. Elite Dangerous is dead.
Game enemy.
Not again.
Again.
Right. So Nowski's saying, I hope at least some of the isolated inhabited worlds out in the black will count as starting points. Good luck with that, mate. And maybe the stated ability to chain bare-bone colony systems implies this. The last FU also mentioned further in-game assets to come, and I dare to hope these will be physically involved in settlement placing, giving some fine-grained control. I am extremely excited to learn what the reality is. I kind of hope you're right. Just don't get disappointed.
Yeah, that's the point. That is the worry about this. I am not getting excited because we've got excited about things in the past, multi-crew, and it's been thoroughly disappointed by the reality. But so
I suppose the other problem is that if there are, if you could pick what kind of station you wanted in your system, everyone's going to have noob hammers. Do you know what I mean? People are just going to pick the best one.
The one that kills the most commanders.
Yeah, there's just going to be.
Yeah, I think that everybody wanted the essentially No Man's Sky in Elite, or No Man's Sky base building in Elite, and we've learned that's not going to happen. And we're going to get. Congratulations, you get to somehow start a space station. Which.
Yeah, and the choice of station will be interesting.
I don't understand why people are excited about that. To be honest, it's like, okay, I get the idea of expanding the bubble, but just because I founded Lave 2 or something like that, I don't actually get to own it. I'm not the commander of it. I'm assuming I don't get any benefits of doing it or anything like that. I just get to say, well, okay, I founded Lave 2 over here.
Yeah. What does the architect get?
Yeah.
Because we've talked in the past regarding the BGS about player owned minor factions. And it doesn't mean very much to own a minor faction, really.
Well, you don't own a minor faction.
No.
When it's in the game, it's out of your hands.
Yeah.
What I can see happening here is that basically this system was founded, or the architect is by, say, Little Biggin, and you know that this system was started by Little Biggin. They might not own it because minor factions and power play has moved in at some point, but it was founded by Little Begin, and that's what it'll be. You'll just have your your name on a plaque somewhere on the station that
I'll be
everybody
happy with
walks past and ignores.
Yeah, I'd be able to do that.
If you're lucky.
Or even if it just says in the galaxy map, you know, first settled, colonized by, you know, commander name, or if it's a squadron name. I'd be happy with that.
Fair enough.
Personally,
I mean, I'm quite happy to get first scanned when you go into the galaxy map. So, you know. Right. Deep breath. Chris.
Okay. Right. Maximum effort. I think, so this is from Glenn Van Ross, FLC. I don't know what FLC stands for, but it's there. I think colonization will follow the standard FDEV formula of filling various commodity buckets in order to pass certain development milestones. Collect 30,000 of these 10 commodities to build a starport, outpost, etc. Once the buckets are filled, the facility will build constructions at the next weekly server maintenance. Then we must fill the next batch of buckets for the next stage of construction, and so on. Once the colony system is built and populated with minor factions, I expect it will function a lot like the existing player minor factions. So just minor factions. They likely won't confer any special privileges, bonus, or recognition, and will be subject to ordinary BGS and power play mechanics. This means that the player colonies, PMFs, can be boosted in influence or even retreated from the system entirely, just like any other faction. Unless, the one thing I'd say, unless you count as the native faction, in which case you couldn't be retreated, but I don't know if you can count as a native faction in multiple systems or not. I don't think you can, so ignore that. To avoid undue saltiness in the forums, I imagine FDEV will want to prevent total retreat of the founding faction by having it permanently own a mega ship or other facility in system, just like they did with Azimuth and the Musashi. It will be interesting if Frontier decide to balance those players who want their colonies to be museum pieces, unaffected and unblemished by BGS, and power play activity against some power players who will naturally see the budding colonies as future battlegrounds for the chosen faction. Honestly, you're probably going to have no say in it. Just like anything, minor factions, you have no say in. You have no control over what that minor faction does. You're going to have no control over what happens with your system.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just becomes another piece of the toy box. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I can see colonization getting stale pretty quickly once if that is the deal, you know, and ultimately it's not very personalized. I don't know what the appeal is.
Yeah, I think it's you can just you can never underestimate the power of I was here first or I built this here first. Because I must admit, when I do land on a planet and I get first footfall and I get that little message, I go, oh, a little happy tick happens inside me. And I think if the satisfaction of you actually building a system said, I built that, I think that'll be a lot more of a motivator than.
Are you going to form the Bindi Baji Empire?
It's a Vindiluvian Empire.
Sorry,
Bindi was one of the
Vindiluvian Empire. Sorry,
I don't know. He can't even get his red dwarf straight. Jeez, what a rimmer. Anyway, I have Commander. Oh, here's appropriate. Crichton Zealoth. I'm curious to see the new gameplay. Oh, I'm curious to see what the new gameplay the feature will add beyond resource gathering. Once we have a foothold in a suitable system with an established starport, I can imagine surface prospecting for suitable settlement locations with a new on-foot mechanic involving scanning. Oh, that would be nice. You've got to sort of survey a planet before you decide what you can put down on it.
I've always wanted that. You know, I always like excuses to drive the SRV, and I've always thought that, like, you know, missions to, I don't know, sort of triangulate an area or something which involve you driving a bounding box around a chunk of land to survey. Anything like that would be really cool.
Yeah, it might be a case of they say, right, on this planet here, you've got this area here, which would be suitable for a base. Go land, scan the area, and survey it, and find out if it's suitable, and then you decide where you can place it.
Go with your
Again,
blasters and clear any big rocks. Any
Yeah.
big rocks down there. If you could just clear those, make it
yeah.
flat.
Oh, well, maybe that's what you need to do. Like the equivalent of a mining laser attached to the SRV. So you drive along and just blast the bit flat, so you can start building your. I love the game that I'm building in my head right now.
Get some sandworms too.
Some thumpers.
Thumpers and sandworms. Yes.
I've got Dan Technic. It will be a cool addition to the game, add some purpose and depth for player groups. I play mostly alone and can't see it adding much to my gameplay. Would have preferred base building, would have liked to build and manage my own base on the ground, but I'm not complaining.
I must admit, I think I would prefer much smaller scale where I just build and maintain my own settlement.
It could still include that, of course.
It could, yeah.
It could include that.
But we'll wait and see.
Okay, so Mickey Rooney's saying, if I can't name my station, blast a laser orbital, I want none of it.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney Spanish, by the way. So
yeah, and I'm not going to
speaking Spanish in a Yorkshire accent.
I'm not going to say. I'm not even going to do Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just no. Nobody wants that.
I apologize for the Yorkshire accent.
I want you to always apologize. No, I can't say.
That's what you're like when you're down at Benidorm, Marla. Oh dear.
Okay, I've got Commander Profane Pagan. Okay, I'm super curious. We start spreading out from the bubble, like the roots of a tree in every direction. But what about commanders who spread towards Thargoid space? Pleiades, anybody? I would love if some unfortunate pioneers with their bases could end up as Thargoid lunch.
Well, I mean, that is a possibility. Imagine you get everybody heading out in that direction, and Thargoids go, you're not getting any further than this. Bang, in comes a Titan.
Right, but if I put a tourist thing there, do you know what I've just made?
What's that?
Thargoid Park.
Thargoids!
Oh dear. Yes.
Park.
forget Jurassic Park 3, Thargoid Park.
Yeah, we'll get an eccentric Scottishman with a cane. It'll be fine.
Yes, but you can do it. But really, should you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
This is the kind of person that just wants the park to destroy so they can see the dinosaurs eat people.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Sorry. I'm getting distracted by Camp Cretaceous, which was a great Jurassic Park kids cartoon.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah.
It is. It's really, really good. And it looks like there's going to be a series set involving some of the characters where they're a little bit more grown up.
Chaos Theory. We're just watching series 2 of Chaos Theory at the moment. It's fantastic.
Well, I've got Commander Silas Scratcher Resi. My one wish is that it's available to us more casual commanders who do not have the time available to chase resources and cash flow in the billions. I miss out on owning a carrier because of my personal commitments. I would love to have a Colony Cyrus or Ranch Resi 07 ARCs.
ARCs.
Oh dear, that just opens up a can of worms, doesn't it? Expansion for ARC.
You two can have a dude ranch. Just Geef ARCs.
Dear.
Indeed. I've got Frank Slartybart.b Sky Social. I can't help thinking something's got lost in translation there. The way I'd like it to work, you enter a Virgin system, Fanar. You have to register as first finder. You're given the option to set up a PMF in that system. Keep that PMF over a threshold, influence, and settlements and stations in your PMF name start to appear. Yeah, that works.
This all sounds far too reasonable.
Yeah.
Far too reasonable.
Might struggle. because if settlement stations aren't there, you might struggle to keep your influence high in a completely empty system with no stations to take missions or hand in anything. So, yeah, that's going to struggle.
Okay,
mean,
so
it's part of a chain.
you've got your colony ship that you have to hand into or something.
Yeah, also, PMFs are done by Frontier themselves, and they've stopped adding them.
Yeah. There's something in that idea that instead of directly building your thing, you sort of fuel the economy which builds the thing.
Well, that 90s kid who is proclaiming themselves with a slight gauntlets being thrown down here that I think you guys might want to compete against. World's greatest forum dads. Gonna be an awfully lot of upset people individually building their assets. Then all of a sudden they can't defend that system that they own because of somebody attacking it through the BGS in solo. The outrage is going to go through the roof because each person will be affected by it.
Okay.
They haven't said
And this
anything.
is why we can't have nice things.
But yeah, they haven't. I mean, this isn't Clash of Clans.
Might be.
I don't think that they're going to let you sort of build a base up just for another player to come in and smash that base.
It's view and eligible for all normal BGS activities. I don't see why not.
Oh, okay. So you haven't played Clash of Clans then? Because then
Not since I was like 12 or something.
what, the mobile game where you build up a base and you've got to defend yourself against other players?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough then. Because yeah, I don't think. Well, I don't think it's going to go that way. I don't think people can destroy the bases that you've created. Although, yeah, they can probably take it over.
They can probably
take it over, and they can probably string Arissa banners all over it.
God, Arissa leaving her bloody underwear all over the place.
There's a banner for that. Yeah.
Why am I not going into the station?
Because you're barred. Right, I have Mixoplex 73. Given past experience, it'll work in every conceivable way except for the way the players dream it will. Want ground bases, sorry, space stations only. Want space stations, oh my god, how much? Never please all players at once. Fingers crossed it's just not a dumpster fire. It sounded, from what they were talking it up as, it seemed... I remember them saying stuff about ground settlements and stuff. So it seems like we're going to get space stations and ground settlements. I think that's cool. They didn't say asteroid bases, so I need to find that out.
We live in hope.
Possible. Yeah. I guess it'll just be how much we get a say in what's built where.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier about noob hammers and things. Though, like if asteroid bases are a possibility, then they'll all be asteroid bases because that's what everybody would want. Even if it's expensive, that's what everyone will. It'll just be every single colonized system will be an asteroid base because that's what everybody wants.
Yeah. Right. Deep breath here because I have got Lambda, Daisy Bell. I imagine colonization will work as follows. It will take several billion to pay for a colonization megaship. You can then select the system you have it jump to. I have no idea how they're going to determine which systems were available for colonization. Maybe they'll be within a certain distance from an inhabited system where you are allied with the controlling BGS faction. Once the megaship is in place, you'll have to supply lots and lots of raw and manufactured materials within a certain time frame. I can picture squadrons coordinating with this. There will be a minimum threshold, but I bet we can fill it beyond that for various bonuses like larger starter settlements. Once the megaship is fully ready to colonize, you'll be able to select from a list of settlement locations and outposts station orbits. These will probably be based off procedural generation. You won't be able to select the exact location of a settlement, but you will have options. You'll be given a list of possible names for each settlement and outpost, and this will prevent the offensive names or the station mixtation face problem. You will be able to determine the economy type of your system, but the various factors will benefit one economy over another. Lots of good mining spots will make an extraction very profitable. Space stations located near interesting astronomical phenomena will make good tourist hotspots, while lots of alien plants on landable bodies will make agricultural easier, etc. That's phenomenal, Lambda. That's well thought out. I don't think I've got any notes.
No, I like that.
Yeah. So yes.
I think there is a slight. I love the ideas. I think there's a slight issue with the idea of it being scenic, because I don't think anything in the game can programmatically determine if only humans can say this is scenic. Well,
yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
It depends how advanced their AI is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, finally, does anybody get any other business?
Nope.
Nope. Fair enough. In that case, we will do our shout-outs. So our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, or just the audio you can get at radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/EliteDangerousCQC. We'll also give a shout the wonderful Loose Screws, and of course, if you speak French,
I just like the funky music to the talking.
Well said.
Back to the script, Claire.
That just took a left turn. There is also the wonderful Elite Dangerous podcast with the wonderful Elite Dangerous missions that we always recommend that you try. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejuice. And well, thanks to everybody who's chipped in on Twitch. And the in-game commanders, we have Duck1, Ned McReady, Giza Gonkiedoba. Did I get that right?
Yes. Brilliant name.
Okay. Right. Ruster Sword, Little Big Yin, William Solo, Soccer 42, Bad Bargy, or Bad Barney? Barney? Oh, okay. Acropolis, Apathis or Apathacris, Packet of Crisps. Work it out yourselves. Siberius and Asnik. We will also say special thanks to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music for this show. That's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find us in the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to the Chris Mark V.
You're welcome.
Thanks to Ben, who's passing out.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks to Alec.
Ja-ne. That's goodbye in Japanese.
Oh, okay. And of course, special thanks to the wonderful Chris Mark for being sound tech and bar stander.
You're welcome.
So until next time, commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word. Space can be loaded. I'm
going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 12th of November 3310. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, active Thargoid spire sites are in imminent danger of becoming extinct. And commanders rediscover the delights of rare goods trading.
Assuming the Thargoids don't come up with any surprises, we're getting close to the end of the Thargoid War. The last Thargoid Titan, Kohijo, in the Col 285 sector BA-P C6-18 system, has fewer than 70 controlled systems left, and the number continues to drop rapidly. Before that last Titan explodes, almost certainly before the end of the year, there's expected to be a flurry of space tourism to see this mighty organic alien mothership, possibly the last we shall ever see. But even sooner than that, the very last operational Thargoid Spire site in Col 285 sector OS-T D3-143 is in imminent danger of being shut down, taking with it one of the most magnificent sites in the galaxy, and the only practical method of collecting tactical core chips, which engineer Ram-Tar requires as part of his modification to make Guardian modules immune from Thargoid electromagnetic pulses. These chips form part of the Thargoids' hovering ships, the Revenants and Banshees, and can be gathered by shooting directly from underneath or indirectly from above using splash damage, their soft underbellies. Ship-launch collector limpets or SRVs can then collect up this super rare material. Spire sites are also the only place you can play a sort of real-life Mario, jumping from platform to platform to collect materials and to poison the Spire site. Spire sites are used to keep the Titans supplied, so this last one's eventual destruction will form part of the destruction of Titan Kohijo and the end of the invasion. So, while you still can, take the time to visit what may be the last ever active Spire site and admire the view while dodging the mini shutdown fields and Thargoid interceptors that will inevitably want to play. Land on a leaf, visit the mega barnacles and get some target practice shooting revenants. Marvel at these huge organic towers still rippling with alien energy. It's a sight not to be missed, but you'll need to be quick.
With the recent political upheavals, commanders newly pledged to one or other of the 12 galactic powers have been relearning the delights of trading rare goods, as they seek to help their power acquire new territory and to help themselves move up through the ranks. There are 100 ranks to progress through, and you don't get access to the first of the special Powerplay modules until you reach the mid-30s of rank, so there's lots of work to be done. Rare goods can help with this rank progression. Sell a single load of them into one of the systems your power wants to move into, and you can progress up a whole rank in less than an hour. You ideally need a ship with a large cargo hold and a decent jump range. The new Lakon Type 8 forklift is ideal, offering up to 50 light-years jump range and capacity for more than 300 tons of rare goods, coupled with the ability to land on a medium landing pad. By checking the political state in systems that sell rare goods, you can predict which ones have a generous allocation of their goods, and prioritise these as pick-up points. It's better if you travel more than 150 light-years from where you want to sell the goods, so you make a decent profit at the same time. At the time of writing, Harma rum was in good supply, as was Altarian skin and Vega slimweed, which come from systems only 15 light-years apart. You're unlikely to be interdicted, even if you have gained a notoriety of 10 from doing other work for your power. But if you are, the Type 8 can easily be engineered to escape most unfriendly fire. Hop back to the system your power wants to acquire, sell 1 ton of your cargo just to make sure you're in the right place and earning merits, and then sell the lot, and earn yourself a promotion.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.